Welcome to another podcast for Unfiltered Gupshup. This podcast gives a real stories, raw emotions, and unfiltered conversation and takes center stage, celebrating voices that inspires, heal, and spark on and honesty. Deep gratitude to God, our over supportive family, and AB Photos for capturing the soul of our journey. Thank you very much, Rashmi and Payal. I wanted to introduce today, there is a lot of things to talk about. I wanted to introduce our female entrepreneurs who are in this area and doing a lot of work. Rashmi is a productivity and growth mindset certified with 25 years of corporate experience in progressively challenging roles at Pikestein is her initiative to provide a teen-centered platform dedicated to overpowering young people to grow into confident and well-rounded and purpose-driven individuals. Rashmi, please introduce yourself and we want to know more about you.
Thank you, Aditi, for having us on this podcast here. This is a great platform, and congratulations for running the podcast.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
So, like you mentioned about the PCASTine, I have been working on this initiative for some time. It is still in the infancy, but it is a platform that is specifically for the teens. It's curated to make sure they have the right tools and the right mindset as they grow and become into confident adults. So that is where I want to make sure they have this platform to come together and talk and learn and grow.
Yeah, thank you. And moving towards Payal, moving abroad reshapes you. It begins with the uncertainty of quiet observation where identity feels paused and familiar anchors disappear, slowly adapting into new roots. And she has started her own startup which is called EduConnect and to developed a structured curriculum and designed specifically to help children build conversational confidence. She is also teaches data analytics at the University of North Carolina and South New Hampshire University. Let's hear more about from her.
Thank you, Aditi. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to express myself. And as you have mentioned about me, I teach Hindi language to the young kids. Coming to a new country feels like that all your familiar bonds have faded with time. So that's how began my journey when I moved here. And when I became a mother, my first thought process was, if I don't teach my son right now, it will be never. So that's where the teaching journey started, to teach my son Hindi. And it became, because I believe that language is not just for communication, it is an emotion, it's a feeling, and it's a sense of belonging and identity.
Of course. So what moment in your life pushed you to step into entrepreneurship and coaching? I was asking, yeah.
So it wasn't a specific moment. It has been there for some time. The oldest memories that I can recall is from 2012, 2013 era when, we used to all work out of office and had those nice big cubicles. So I used to have all these motivational quotes and the books I read and the success stories of leaders, and I got these inputs from a lot of colleagues that, hey, you should be into training and development because you have this quotes, and sometimes it just makes our day. It's the right quote that you want to start your day with. And I said, okay, it helps, that's fine, but it never clicked as such. But through the years and when the pandemic happened, the seed kind of planted, and I'm like, okay, I want to do something about it. I have worked with several volunteering organizations, and I've been into several ERGs with Women and Tech, Lean In circles. The clarity came when I started a little bit with the Lean In girls, and I'm like, this is the age group, right? The teens are the ones that have suffered the most through the pandemic, and they need a platform to have that human interaction, to feel that connect, and with all the stress they have around with their high school academics and the social pressure, I thought I should offer something for them to be able to mend themselves into a growth mindset and become the best versions of themselves.
Oh, awesome. And what about you?
So I will not say that, I was leaning towards entrepreneurship. It just happened, pandemic hit at a time when I was still thinking what I will do in the evenings. There was nothing in the evenings. I'm not hanging out with anyone. I'm at home. So my friend suggested that since your son speaks Hindi so well, so why don't you teach our kids? So that's where it started. I started teaching online, build that system where I can provide a safe environment to the kids, that because I have seen that kids generally are very shy and they see language learning as a chore. So that was my very first step, that how I can make it better, because most of the kids here, they follow a logical way to learn a language.
Yes.
So how I can, build a system like that. So that's where I started, building on the curriculum, how English and Hindi are different, and how I can make ask them to participate, because participation only builds the confidence in the kids. So tried with Hindi and English mix, and that's how I started working on the curriculum. Soon it became, it grew organically, and I was asked by several other parents, can you teach our kids? Can you teach our kids? So that's how I registered my EduConnect LLC, and I thought that, I can start working from here. And currently I'm in the process of building an app where students can actually practice, and it's not just like 25 sentences in Hindi and you are good, but a concrete way where they see a sentence in English and they know how to speak in Hindi, even if they are mixing English.
Okay, that's awesome. So what is one belief you had to unlearn to grow as a woman founder? Do you have anything to you? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So one thing which I think I have unlearned, and I'm still in the process of unlearning, I am not yet there, is that we are conditioned in such a way that we don't ask for help. And we think that we can do it all. Maybe we just try to prioritize and juggle through the priorities. We have to excel at work. We have to nurture the relationships, be present for our kids and everything. And we just think that, exhaustion is equivalent to dedication. That's not true.
Okay.
So that's where I think that's my biggest unlearning, because when I started, when the things became normal after COVID, started to get the work cycle was getting on track, I realized that if I don't ask for help, the answer will always be no.
Yes.
So I'm not saying about, there are two kinds of help, obviously paid and unpaid, but what about asking your spouse? What about asking your friends? So being that in that vulnerable position is a sign of leadership, because when we learn to delegate, when we learn to lean on others, we have more room to grow.
Yes, we learn from each other too.
Yes.
What about you? What do you think about this?
Yeah, that is definitely there. But the other thing that I have also worked on myself, right? Like she said, we do so many things and we are always so busy and spread ourselves thin enough where 24 hours seems like, oh, it's never ending. You almost run in the autopilot mode. And that is when it hits you hard. Like, there are people who do so many things in 24 hours, and how do they do it, right? And then there is the introspection that comes, and I'm like, okay, I have to eliminate the tasks that are not adding any value, ask for help, and be okay if when we try to juggle the 10 balls, one drop balls, it's okay, there's a new day and you'll get another chance. So it is like letting go of that control over certain things, because you want to prioritize what you want to do and set boundaries that I can only do so much, but I'm going to pick and choose what I want to do in the 24 hours.
Yes. So how has your definition of success evolved over the years? What do you think about success?
Success today means very different than what I started with, because we've all grown in different parts of the world where success definitely is more what society tells you, right? You have to get good grades, go to a good school, go to a good college, get a good degree, get a good job, get married and have a bigger house and those kind of things, right? That to me doesn't feel success anymore. And there are people who would say that. You say that now because you are on the other side. But maybe you need money. Yes, it is a means to definitely, achieve whatever you want to. But I think you shouldn't be stopping there, Like when you look beyond, success to me today feels like the freedom and the ability to do things that I choose to do, not I need to do.
Yes.
So I think that has redefined a lot of things for me.
Making yourself happy is a successful thing.
Yes. And sometimes it could be like a simple act of kindness, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you help somebody
Taking
with
out
the
an ice cream.
tiniest thing, and it feels so good that that energy, stays with you the whole day, and that's a success.
Yes. What about you? What do you think about success? The word.
So as Rashmi said, yeah, I also had a yardstick where I will measure my success against the title I have, the salary I have, whether I have a bigger house, and all those sort of things. Those things still make me happy, I'll not lie. They still make me happy, but momentarily. At the end of the day, success is not something which can be measured, and it's not a sustainable model. Success is tied to my happiness, what I want to do, whether it is aligned with my inner self, and whether I'm making a difference to the society. So basically, I will tie my success to the purpose, what I am here for. Am I, doing any good to the society? So, success in terms of teaching may not give you a metric or a number which I can measure or quantify, but it comes in the form of human experiences. So
Yes,
if a student is hesitating, but still making an effort to speak in Hindi,
that is a success.
that is a success. If a grandparent reaches out to me, expressing their gratitude that, we can connect to our kids, thank you, just with the introduction of, hello, namaste and all that. So that is a measure of success for me.
Yes. What is the most common mindset block you see in the women who are trying to move forward? What do you think about the women entrepreneurs coming into this society?
The mindset block, I think the most common one is, we are in a way conditioned. Women, I think, are conditioned to take things more personally. We take things very personally, to our heart, personally and professionally, in both zones where we tend to do more than what we are required to do. We take it personally. So one thing is letting go. The second thing is something needs to happen in a certain way at a certain time, and that I think I still am in work in progress for that. I still have my pet peeves that something has to happen in a certain way at a certain time by a certain person or in a certain manner, but the trick to letting go frees you up and gives you that little bit of a peace and some kind of a mindset shift that you need to look beyond.
So what do you think too? I would like to know from you also.
Yeah, so I think, this is just my perspective from what I have seen in other women as well. We do have an imposter syndrome. Anytime we, start something, we think about all of those scenarios which may not be true. So we are sometimes afraid to take that first step, and once that is done, things work out for us. So I have seen many of the women's, let's giving an example of, if there is an opportunity, most of us will look at, we are not qualified for it because of just 10% of the qualifications, rather than looking at the other side for which we might be called for an interview. So I think that is one thing, and again, as Rashmi mentioned, we take it personally. We are emotional well-beings, but at the same time we overthink a lot. So we have to draw a boundary when we are planning that, we have to compartmentalize. That is an art which comes over a period of time, that
experience.
That I will think about this part only till this point, and I can learn about other uncertainties later. I totally believe in universe. So universe listens to you. So once you have taken a step, things start falling in place if you have that support circle around you, that you can figure it out yourself.
So how do you balance institution with strategy while running a purpose-driven business?
So again, intuition is coming from my own experience, because I started with my son, and I know what exactly the parent would need
Yes,
their
yes.
kids to learn from. So that has given me a skill of empathy. I understand the fear of a young kid, being pushed to learn a language
Yeah.
to which they do not feel connected to. So that's where my intuition works. I know that I have to create a safe space, a safe environment, how to engage them and how to make them feel curious about this language, that why should they learn it. And strategy comes into the picture because every kid is different.
Yes.
So I have to customize sometimes.
Of course.
Some kids
Tailorize.
learn too quickly. They have external factors. People
Yes.
speak the language at home.
Yes.
Some kids do not have anything, and they are, shy of their accent and everything.
Yes.
So again, the strategy comes into play. Customizing the teaching strategy for each kid, making them involved in the class when we are participating, and responding to their queries in the language which they are comfortable hearing. Not just for the sake of teaching, I have to respond back in Hindi.
Yeah. So what is your opinion about it?
So yeah, intuition, I think it does come from experience and sometimes also from need. So we are all moms here and we know what we want for our kids. And when you start looking for, like in your case, language was the driver for me, how somebody can be the best version of themselves while I work on, my best version, right? And I started on my best version a few years ago. So I kind of, started putting things into perspective, and then I'm like, probably the teen is a nice age group where, if you can give them that platform, that value add, or the ability to see where they can see themselves, right, in 10, 15, 20 years. So I'm like, these are the building blocks that they would need. And for peak as teen, that is where the strategy came into picture, where the self-awareness, discipline, the tools that, could help them give that perspective, work on themselves, came into picture.
That's nice. Wonderful. Actually, I'm so overwhelmed by hearing all this. Can you share a setback that reshaped you as both as entrepreneur and as a coach? You can.
Yes, absolutely. So I wouldn't essentially call it a setback, but like I said, it has been on my mind for a long time. It was all the things that we spoke about, right? The self-doubt, can I do it? Do I have time? It was there, sitting there somewhere, once in a while peeking its head up and saying, hey, I'm here. What are you planning to do about it? And then the pandemic happened, right? It changed the course of life for a lot of us. And what impacted was, although not a direct impact, it was the then middle schoolers, right, who suddenly from their happy school days had to sit in front of a computer and not have any human interaction.
Yeah.
So since then, I'm noticing that this whole social media thing has become like a snowball effect.
Yes.
It has been there so much. So I'm like, the human touch is lost. People are going to forget how to be emotionally intelligent, how to be able to talk, or how to even, look at themselves as a human, not as somebody who is there to just compete or make their presence felt for the outer world. You want to be felt intrinsically, like you need to be self-aware. Who are you? What do you want to do? And that is where the whole mindset things comes into picture. And I'm like, if that is something that can help the kids grow, and that age group is now the 13 to 15, the 13 to 18 age group.
Yes.
And I'm like, yes, I want to do something, like offer something to them where they can build on it and learn from it and grow and be the best versions of themselves.
Yes. And what are your thoughts about?
So I will not say that I had a dramatic setback to be on this journey, but yeah, moving to a new country in itself is a big challenge. So you start off with a lot of uncertainty.
Yes.
And you feel lonely at times. So you start building the connections in the beginning. You just try to fit in everywhere. And the moment it hits you that you do not belong here, that's where, you start thinking, what exactly should I do so that I feel myself again. So I'll not say it was dramatic setback. It's like minor disappointments, relationships which faded, and those estranged relationships, got formatted formalized in such a way that, I started thinking more in terms of transition and how we evolve as individuals.
Okay.
Everybody has different life stages.
Yeah.
So that's where I will say that, that led me into more of coaching and, entrepreneurship. Where I'm feeling myself aligned with my intrinsic values, as well as I'm not seeking validation. So where my validation starts from me and ends at me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you protect your energy and avoid burnt out hassles from this heavy world? So like we always overthink that you mentioned that. So how do you handle it?
Yeah, so I'm sure everybody has learned this technique, and that is why we are able to do beyond what we are required to do. So I typically, again, it comes from self-awareness over the years that I have experienced. I have identified the trigger points. At what point, I feel that loss of energy, or at what point do I think that, I cannot take it anymore. So I call it the battery reset. So right about when my battery is 70% used, I'm like, take a pause. My inside voice starts talking about it. And then, it could be just a simple walk, listening to music, or, looking at old pictures or something, like a 5-minute break. And then, you're back. At least that trigger point is gone and you're beyond it. So
yeah, that's awesome. What do you do?
So I have a group of, my own girlfriends.
Okay.
I am not forcing any friendships because of my spouse, my kids. I have my own set of friends. So I will just go out with them, just just to catch up on coffee or meals, or even, some trips. And sometimes when there is a lot of, I'm not sure what I have to do in a situation, I will just, give a call to some of my very close friends, and there is no boundary of timing and anything.
Yes.
So that is one thing. And another thing is, I will just try to distract myself looking at my kids, because I sense that, they are right now here, younger, they are clinging to me, but soon they will not be doing that. So right here, right now, I'll just live in that moment, and then I'll, come back once I have recharged myself.
Yes. So what daily practice keeps you grounded when things feel uncertain?
Okay.
What do you do when everything is going wrong or something? Today I called up my friend. Everything is going wrong.
So again, I think self-awareness, and I have been working on a lot of things to move away from the autopilot mode as much as I can. I have, I don't know, you probably haven't seen me many years ago, but I was a very different person, and I can tell that difference in myself, and that comes from self-awareness. And recently I have learned to, put to practice the power of now. So I like to live in the present. I try. I'm still, working on it. There are ways and days when, I can be a different person. But to what she said, right? I mean, there was a point when I was thinking of not continuing my job and being a full-time mom. And then I realized, no, I can be a good mom only for 5 to 8 hours a day. My kids need their world. I need my world. And, it was also my daughter. She was the one saying, hey, mom, you like your friends, you like your work. You should go back to work. There's no point you sitting at home. What will you do when we are at school, right?
Yes.
So that definitely helps. And the power of now, I think we cannot enough highlight it, because it is like a superpower. I think it's like, if you can, which I am trying to be in the present. Interesting story about it. I was talking to a group of kids about a month or so back, two separate, like one middle school group and one high school group, and I asked them, like, what would you choose, to change your past or know your future? 80% of the kids said they would like to change their past. And I'm like, at your age, 10, 12, 15, 18 years, you want to change your past. What has happened, right, in your 15 years on this planet that you want to go back and change? I'm like, so I just gave them some food for thought and said that get past your past and learn to live in the present. So while I try to do that, I think that is my, message for people as well.
Okay. What about you?
So since last 2 years, I have started the meditation and breathing exercises, and it has been a journey. Like in the beginning, I was not into it. My the mind will revolve around so many unnecessary things.
Okay.
But then I started slowly, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes every night before going to bed. I will do some breathing exercises, and I try myself not to think of anything. Just look at a particular dot on the wall and just,
Yeah.
keep breathing. So that has really, really helped me. If you would have seen me 2, 3 years back, it might not be visible. The anxiety is, I'm good at hiding anxiety.
Okay.
But I know from inside that,
Yeah.
this is something which is making my heart pace. So how I can improve myself, how I can feel more grounded in the moment of now,
yes.
and I'm still working on it. It has not yet happened, and as Rashmi said that changing past, thinking about future, what I have seen my trend is I will have a mode when I'm thinking about past, I'm thinking about future, and then I will forget, this is now, I have to believe in now, but learn from the lessons from the past.
Yes.
So meditation, one thing, and definitely reading.
Yes.
Reading has taken me to a different level, because when you see from the world from different perspectives,
Yes.
how people think, then you realize that you are living in your own world and you have defined the boundaries there, but there is a lot more to learn, and there are so many good things out there. Why I'm thinking about this particular thing, there has been so many bad phases people went through, so
Yes.
mine is nothing compared to them.
Yes. Yeah. So, what advice would you give the women who are trying to start up? Trying to start up in their life, or trying to start up in their fields? What advice
Take
would
the
you
leap of faith.
Yes.
You have to, because the right opportunity is never going to be served to you on a platter. You have to learn, make mistakes, learn from the mistakes, and grow. So I always say this to people I talk to, like, fear is false evidence appearing real. There's no such thing as failure. It's okay. You have the support, and we all are blessed in a way that, just taking that one step is going to open more doors for you.
Yes, actually, yes. What about you?
So I have the same thing. I mean, you cannot plan for all the variables. That is something which I have learned. You have to take that leap of faith, and the reason for taking that leap of faith, because again, if you don't do it, you will be having that regret of not taking it. If you fail after taking that first step, at least you can work on yourself
Yes.
from it. But I think the advice I would like to give my fellow peers, especially the younger women, I wish somebody would have given me that advice, is don't get into that vicious circle of comparison, competition.
Yes, competition,
That is
yeah.
something at a young age we strive for perfection, and we start comparing ourselves. Don't look at the curated social media posts. I also create the very beautiful posts online, but yeah, there are days when you are thinking something else. So just take that leap of faith. Do not get trapped in that mindset that I can do it all. That never happens.
Yeah. So, what one truth you want every woman listening to us today carry forward from your journey?
I would say, take the rejections, because rejections are very, very important to recognize yourself. You cannot be successful all the time. You cannot be supported by all the people all the time. You cannot please everyone all the time. So I would say, be your own cheerleader. If you can find people who can support you, and this sounds very cliche when I say find your people, but that's actually very true.
Actually,
If you
yes.
don't have that support system,
Moral support you very much
yes.
we need.
we all need social connection. At the end of the day, no matter how self-sufficient we are, how resilient we are, unless we have that social connection, you will be living in a void. So my journey has always taught me that, all along the way you will find many people, someone will teach you a lesson, someone will, come with you. There will be times you will be alone. So take that decision and do not stop yourself. I know that there were few limitations at that time. I wish I could have stepped further. I was very indecisive at that time. So trust your intuition. That is one very, very important thing which I would tell all the younger women.
What about you? You are dealing the youngest, young teens.
Yes. So I think yes, that my message is more for a specific age group, but also a general message, right? I think it's important to be yourself. Do not get into that comparison thing that she also mentioned. The other thing is, you have an open mind. Do not self-doubt. Do not self-sabotage. There are 100 people who will tell you how wrong you are or how bad you are. You want to be your own, no validations needed from the outside world. There is that inner circle. They're good for you. And then, time is the currency. So particularly for teens, right? I mean, that is one thing that I always say. So for example, it is 7:30 now on 7th of Jan. This minute is gone. 7th Jan, 7:30 p.m. of 2026 is never coming back.
Yes.
So that is how much time is important. What you can do today, be disciplined, and hard work has no alternative. If you want to be successful, you have to put in the effort.
Yes.
So there's no exception to that.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much for joining this platform. I'm so grateful I learned so many things talking to you both. And thank you to AB Photos, and thank you very much. We will meet everyone to another podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.